Okay, I've opened up a template that I created in here. You can use the one that I've put in to Canvas. So obviously the first thing you're going to want to do is put your name, and we're going to do, since we're not actually doing a book assignment, so I'm just going to put this program will get a numeric grade and use a switch statement to give an alpha grade. In other words, we're going to do a 90, whatever it is. So it's going to be a numeric grade based upon, so let's just change this to a numeric number of correct questions. That'll fit a little bit better. So the first thing we need to do is create an integer, and we'll just do num correct. Then we're going to, we need to put a character, because it's either going to be A or B, C, or D. So we're going to put character, and we'll just put grade, or you can call it letter grade. And remember, with characters, you put a single quote and a space. And the C out, finally the red line in here. So we'll do C out. How many questions are correct? And then we'll get C in num correct. So now we're just going to do a simple switch statement based upon num correct. So we're going to do switch, and I'm going to do this wrong at first. So we want to do, basically what we want to do is test the number correct. And of course you need the curly brackets or the braces, whatever you want to call them. So the way you determine everything is you type in the word case, and then you put in the answer. So in this particular case, let's just say we have 5. So we're going to do 1 and put in a semicolon, and then we'll do case 2, case 3, case 4, and we'll assume that they got at least 1 correct. We didn't put in a 0. And then a default. The default is in case none of these happen. So basically, if the person gets 1 correct, he gets an F, 2 correct, a D, 3 correct, a C, 4, a B, and 5 is an A. So in this particular case, all we're doing is just nothing more than a fancy if num correct equals 1, then do this. Else, if it's 2, do this. Else, if it's 3, do this. Else, if it's 4, so on. But it has to be an integer or a character in here. So there's other ways of doing things, but it's much more complicated. So in this particular case, we're going to just do grade equals F. And let me copy this. And this will be D.
Is the break statement something that also needs to be?
That's what I'm leaving out on purpose.
Oh.
Because I want to show you what will happen is if you don't put the... No, that was...
Hey, I know something. Yay.
Yay, good for you. All right. Then we should end class tonight right now.
No.
And we'll just put default will be and then we'll just finally put C out your grade is great. Alright, so we're going to say this guy is really not bright. And we got only one correct. So let's go in and run this program and see what his grade is. How many questions? So he gets 1. Wow, his grade is an A. That's pretty good. So what happened here? We matched it with 1. So actually, let me do 2 this time. And we do have some cosmetic issues. So look at this. We got an invalid number of correct again, and your grade is A. So obviously, we have an issue with something that's going on. So the way the switch statement works is as soon as it finds a match, so for instance, we did 2, it found a D, it's going to execute all of the statements in this, and then it's going to keep going executing statements until it either physically finds a break statement or the end of the switch. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a break statement here, as Mylene said, and this time we're going to put in 1. And I claim his grade is going to be a D. His grade is a D. Why is it a D? Because it executed grade equals F, but there was no break statement. So it just ignores this, ignores and everything after it until it finds a break. So what you need to do is you need to put a break statement in each and every one. And you really don't need it with default, but it's still a good idea to do it. So now let's go and let's try 3. So now it should be a C. Boom. So that is how a switch. So all it does is look for a match. In this particular case, we're doing a numerical match.
Can you rerun that with a different value?
Sure. What value would you like?
I want to see what happens when you hit 5.
5? You got an A. But then it says invalid. So good pickup on that because there is no break there. I kind of wanted to show you again one more time how important the break is. Is that why you wanted to see what happens when you hit 5?
It was.
Yeah, well, because what happened is it did the A, it assigned the grade of the A, but then it's going to execute the default anyway. So now let's run it with 5, and it should work. So grade is A. So now, all we're doing here is the simple getting the number of correct. And if you wanted to do it the same way, you could do a character, and the syntax is going to be the same. So that is a simple quiz break statement.